that I am on. Okay, make sure that the camera is not in the way. All right, let's get to it. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to say I'm on 3 platforms. I think I'm on Instagram, I'm on my YouTube channel, and then I'm on Facebook as well. Um, so good evening, good evening, good evening. I have not been on for a while. It's the heart of tax season. So if you all are new to my page and my channel here, hello, hello, hello. My name is Patrice Stewart. I am the realist tax and business strategist. That's trademarked. Okay. And I have almost 20 years of experience in the tax accounting banking industry. I've been doing taxes for a while now, right? And I wanted to share with you all a couple of things, but the main thing that I want to go over tonight is these fraudulent returns and refunds that a lot of you all are getting and doing. Good evening. Is it Shabab? Good evening. How are you? Um, so one, let's get straight into it, right? So I think my post was $19,000 fraudulent tax return was filed with someone, a new client that I'm working with right now, right? Um, and I kind of asked him some questions, how did this happen? Whatever, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So this is what is going on, right? And I just want to throw this out there because some of you may or may not be working with people who are like this. One of the problems or issues is right now that we're having in the tax industry is we have a lot of non-professionals promoting taxes right now, right? So if someone is messaging you or you got a friend or a cousin that's like, hey, I know so and so that can get you this dollar amount, and you all aren't asking any questions, well, guess what? You're going to have a problem, okay? Because taxes do not work like that. There's no $20,000, $30,000 that's just going to be pulled out of the air for you because this person told you that they can get you that. Okay. So what I need more of you all to really do is stop being greedy and use your common sense. All right. Because for one, common ain't common. And I'm learning that. All right. If someone is telling you I can get you 20,000, and you work a regular W-2 job, you don't have a business, you don't own property, you know what your regular refund is, right? You know you normally get 3,000, 4,000, maybe 5,000 back. If you all have kids, you get an earned income credit, you get a child tax credit, then maybe, right? But if someone is saying, hey, I could get you back 10, 15, 20. Y'all, I'm trying to be nicer and not call y'all slow because y'all know what I want to say. I want to say y'all slow to the slow, right? Y'all acting real goofy out here, right? But let me just say this because in this case, this client did not do that. And I believe my client, okay? But in this case, my client was referred to somebody that somebody else told him to go to, right? And this is the funny part is the lady who referred him, she didn't even go to that person. She sent him to kind of be the guinea pig, right? And as he started asking questions, what normally happens is, right, when you get my dollar amount, let me know, call me, let's have a conversation because real tax professionals, that's what we do. We don't just file your taxes, right? If you came to my office and you said, Patrice, here's all my paperwork, and I do the data entry, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Client, your taxes are ready. I have a quote for you. I can go over this with you in detail. For me, because I have a lot going on, I usually make a video of the review. So I make a video of how I filed the taxes. I go through the forms on the video so they can see what forms are being filed. And then I explain how we got to this refund or how you got to this balance if you owe, right? That's what real professionals do, right? We go through and explain how we got here. We're not just saying, oh, you got a $10,000 refund and that's it. No, we're going to explain to you how we got this refund. Okay. Second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to send you paperwork to sign. Hello. Let me move this over a little bit because y'all over here. Okay. I'm going to send you paperwork to sign. Okay. So I have to get your signature of approval that it is okay for me to now file your taxes on your behalf. If you all are going to someone who is not providing you an explanation, not providing you details, not providing you paperwork, not having your signature on file before they submit your tax return, baby, you are not talking to a professional. You talking to a side hustler. Okay. If anybody tells you, oh, how much is my tax return going to be? And they say, oh, well, I got to see how much it's going to be because it's based off of your refund. Run. Just because you're getting $20,000 back, that does not mean you pay somebody $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 out of your refund. What is wrong with y'all? Okay. Because let's be clear. When that return comes back and it gets audited, because this is the other thing that y'all are not understanding. I don't know what's wrong with this new generation, y'all's kids, because I'm 42. So I'm talking to y'all and y'all kids, because these are the ones that's doing it. Okay. I don't know where in the mind that they don't understand that when you file taxes, that's attached to your social security number. Okay. This isn't card cracking. Big difference. For those of y'all that come from the scheming and the scamming life, y'all are messing up everything in the real world. Okay, because now we have real legitimate business owners who are being affected because now the fuel tax credit is flagged. So many tax returns are being held by real legitimate business owners who should be claiming the fuel tax credit. But because y'all kids, you schemers and scammers are out here putting fuel tax credit on everybody's tax return to try to get them this $20,000. You're not understanding how it affects everybody else. Because why? Because you're not used to doing and handling real business. In the card cracking and scheming world, this not y'all lane. When you scheming and card cracking, you're not affecting business owners and people, individuals who are filing taxes. You're not doing that because you're stealing somebody banking information. Big difference. But you all have now started doing ever since the people came out and started doing business loans, and now y'all have started entering in tax returns. You are messing everything up. And I'm really sick of y'all. I really haven't been on this internet in a while talking to you, having no conversation to some of y'all with this mindset, and even the people that you know who think like this. But at this point, I'm sick of it because it's affecting my business. It's affecting my real business clients' businesses, and it's affecting the tax industry as a whole. If you all got a letter because you have to actually come in to the IRS office and verify your identity, thank the schemers and the scammers. So the next time you see cousin, pop him in the face. The next time you see old girl, pop her in the face as to why you had to go stand in the line for 2 hours at the IRS office to verify your identity, because now everything is looked at as fraud. Because y'all goofies have come in to a lane that should not be here for you. And we are about to be so regulated in the tax world and industry. And I can't wait until it happens because I am so sick of regular people off the street being able to file and prepare taxes. because it should be illegal. If you don't have at least a PTN number, it should be illegal for you to file on a just straight TurboTax system somebody else's taxes. Okay. Now, I done got off on a tangent a little bit because it's been some months since I've been on here talking to y'all. But let me get back to the fact. So I have a new client that came in and tried to file taxes with me, right? Well, guess what? Well, he did share with me, hey, I was introduced to this young lady, but I didn't like how she was talking. When she got to saying that my refund, my fee is based off of what my refund is, she wasn't really answering questions. She wasn't answering the phone. He said, I contacted her by text, by voicemail, and told her, hey, I don't want to move forward. I don't want you to file my taxes. I don't want to do anything else, right? A month later, today is Wednesday, Monday, he gets a text message from her saying, where would you like me to send your check? So he immediately contacted me and said, what check is she talking about? Because I'm filing with you. I'm not filing with her. So what check is she talking about? So we had to get on the phone today with the IRS to find out what was actually filed. Because one, she didn't send him any paperwork. He does not have a copy of the tax return that she filed. He never signed anything for her to file. She never contacted him and said, hey, these are your numbers. Is this okay to process? Right? He met her one time, gave her some information, and she filed his taxes on her own and had the money sent to her account. And then she was going to give him a cashier's check. This is the reason why I'm always on here talking to y'all about understanding professionalism and who you're working with, right? Because so many people in our community, y'all are so used to my cousin said, or so-and-so said this, or so-and-so sent me this, or so-and-so said they could give me this and they could give me that. You should go here and you should go there. What y'all are not paying attention to is you're greedy. Your greed. Now, in this case, this client is not that. That's what I'm trying to say, right? He was not greedy because those were red flags to him when she started talking like that. So he immediately said, you know what? I don't want you to file my taxes. I'm going to go to somebody else. But this girl fraudulently filed his taxes. And guess what? When she called him, because I have the screenshot of the text message, she told him his refund is $11,000. Well, guess what? The IRS informed us that $19,000 was actually filed. So she was getting ready to keep $8,000 and send him $11,000. Now, also what we had to do was pull the transcripts. Now, when you pull transcripts won't tell you, you're only going to get a certain amount of information from transcripts. You're not going to still get the full detail of the tax return with a transcript. So this is the reason why legally, when you're working with someone who's doing your taxes, we have to give you a copy of your tax return, because a transcript will not give you all 20 pages, 30 pages of your tax return. Okay. So it is very important that you have a copy of your tax return and how it was filed, and not just your 1040. Because some of these people be sending y'all one page and the Schedule C is missing, or the fuel tax credit form is missing, or other pages are missing, or worksheets are missing. Your tax return is not just the 2 pages of your 1040 tax return, if you did not know that. On average, most people who come to me and I print their paperwork is anywhere between 19 pages to 40 pages. That's a full, complete tax return, okay? Including worksheets, documents, forms, everything, all right? So in this case, because this client was upfront and honest with me and shared with me that he went to somebody, and I told him that. I said, it's very, very likely that I'm going to have an issue when it's time to file your taxes. And guess what? Yesterday he called 100 times, flipping out, worried. What's going on? How can you help me? What's going on? So let me explain to you, if this happens to you, or you know somebody that this happened to, that the taxes were filed fraudulently. I'm not talking about y'all that know what y'all out here doing. that know that you going to somebody that's making up numbers for you, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those of you who, like him, ask somebody, hey, who's doing your taxes? And they sent you to a hood booger. They sent you to somebody who just in it for the money, right? And you didn't know this. You were unaware because you listening to your friend or your family member who like, yeah, go ahead. They gonna do will, right? Now, once that red flag pops up in your mind and you like, hey, I don't want to do business with this person anymore, but you have already given them your information, it is very likely that they will still file it because these people don't have morals and ethics. They don't have a business mindset. They don't understand professionalism, right? And this is why, again, I'm on here talking to y'all because y'all who look like me love to lump all of us in as the same category, right? So when you get on this internet and you get to saying black businesses do this, black businesses do that, you're not talking about people like me. Y'all are confusing people like me with the hood bookers. This is why y'all need to understand that. It's a big difference in how this is processed and how this works. All right. If someone fraudulently filed a tax return, one, you need to immediately contact the IRS and let them know. Okay. And let me just also say this. The IRS has a lot of new customer service agents. Not saying that this is right, but when my client called yesterday, a customer service agent told him, well, just file an amendment. And again, this is why you have to get on with a real professional, right? Because for me, because I'm a actual authorized IRS e-file agent, I have a PTN number. My company is registered with the IRS. We have a hotline called the Tax Practitioner Hotline. We can get through to the IRS in less than 5 to 10 minutes. So unlike my client who was holding to speak to someone for almost an hour, unfortunately, that customer service agent who he's talked to really is incompetent and had no clue what they were talking about. Because to tell him that all he should do is just file an amendment is stupid and it doesn't make sense and it's wrong. Why? How can he file an amendment if he has no paperwork? How can he file an amendment if he has no information about what was put on his tax return? Okay. So even calling the IRS at this time in this day and age, they have a lot of new people because they hired 87,000 people last year that over 90% went to investigations. They didn't put all those people to train them properly in customer service. So I want y'all to know that. So this is another reason why it's important to call up a tax professional who can call another hotline and department and get you cleared away, right? So that's what happened. I had to get on three-way today with the client, get on with the actual tax professional hotline that I called. We got in less than 10 minutes. And once I explained the situation, the agent on the end agreed with me that, yes, that was misinformation that the customer service agent gave them. You would not file an amendment. What you actually have to do is file this form. So it's two forms, and I'm going to share the form and the form number with you. The form is called Form 14157. Okay. It's called the Return Preparer Complaint. Because in this case, the woman, the young lady that he went to, was acting as the preparer. Okay. Even though she's fraud and fraudulent, she was acting as the tax preparer. Right. So on the form, it's going to ask, are they an attorney? Are they an enrolled agent? Are they a CPA? And then it's going to say other. So you're going to have to choose other because, of course, these people don't have a license or a designation, which is why you see everybody and their mama today pushing taxes and they don't know shit. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're lying to you, telling you they can get you 20, 30 grand, and y'all acting slow and goofy and going with it. Now, again, for those of you who not slow and goofy, like the client that I'm referring to, right? You got referred to somebody who actually played you in a nutshell. How do you get out of that jam? How do we get this client out of the IRS sending that 19,000 to the young lady? Because also that 19,000 went to her bank account, not his. So the IRS can run a trace on that and they can verify that, right? So this is the reason why you want to report them. You want to fill out this paperwork so that way they can do the investigation and they can pull the money from whoever, right? That's up to them to get the money back from her. But we will be providing her name, her address, her phone number, and her email. They're going to ask for that kind of information on there. So if y'all want to say no snitching or whatever, hey, that's on you. But if you want that $19,000 up off of your name, then you better be okay with telling who did the bullshit. Simple as that. Okay. Second thing, the form is about, the form really is a one pager. It's just explaining to you in the other 2 pages kind of how to fill the form out, right? But the name of the form again is called tax return. It's called return preparer complaint. It's called form 14157. Form 14157. If you type in IRS form 14157 in Google, it will come straight up from the IRS website. And then you can look at it and you have to fill it out. Now, you have to fill this form out. And you also have to, so I'm doing his taxes now. So I have to print out his tax return and attach this form to it and mail it in. I'm not mailing it in because I have a fax department that we could fax it to. And it also is a fax department and a fax number on the form, actually, which is great because y'all know right now mailing anything into the IRS is going to take forever, right? So that's what we have to do to get this client to reverse that $19,000 refund that the young lady did and processed on his behalf. Thank you, Tavara, for putting that in the comments for me, right? And this is going to take some months. They've already said that it will probably take more than 120 days, which is fine, right? He's fine with waiting up to 120 days or longer to get that $19,000 removed off of him. And then we're going to file his tax return the real way. Do you know what filing his tax return the real way, with his real documents and W-2 wages? The refund is less than $3,000. That's the accurate tax return. So he did not want to be held liable for what she put on that tax return, which is fraud. Simple as that. It's nothing to sugarcoat. It's fraud. Anything that does not go with what matches your paperwork. Again, he's an investor. He doesn't have a business of his own. He invested in a business, right? But the business does not qualify to take a fuel tax credit. All right. He doesn't own property. So he should not be taking a residential energy credit. These are the main 2 credits that these fraudulent scammers are putting on you all tax return, and y'all don't care. You just like, oh, get me back the money, let's roll. But let me explain this once again, and then we're done. When you file paperwork with the IRS with your Social Security number and you get the refund, they will give you the refund. Some of y'all on here on one of my older videos, you were like, I know people that got it. I know people that got the 20 to 30K as well. Just because the IRS releases the money does not mean that they won't come back later on and investigate. So I know inside information that you don't know. So yeah, they'll give you the 20 today. Run it up. And then next year or the year after, sometimes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. If you didn't know, the IRS could go back up to 10 years on y'all. Okay? So look at it as a loan. Look at it as a very high interest loan. Because baby, when they do come back and ask for that 20 to 30K, it's not going to be 20 to 30K. It's going to be $40,000 or $50,000 because they're going to tack on interest. They're going to tack on penalty. And then they're also could possibly tack on additional fees, especially if it's fraud. Especially if it's fraud. If you can't prove any of that stuff that's on that tax return, it's fraud. So that means they're going to reverse the credit. So when they reverse the credit, oh, they backdated, and then they charge interest. So if you got the money last year in 2023, and now at the end of this year, 2024, that's almost 2 years, all year 2023, all year 2024. Let's say you get a letter December 2024, baby, that letter could easily say 50,000. And you can't lie and be like, oh, it was fraud, because guess what? The check went to your bank account. They can trace checking accounts. That's direct deposit. They can trace who cashed the check, where the bank, what bank was cashed, whether it was a Walmart, a bank. Y'all act like we don't live in a paper trail society. You act like everything we do is not paper trail and cameras everywhere. So you can't use that. Oh, Mr. IRS agent, it wasn't me, like some of y'all tried to do with the PPP. This ain't that. This is not that. Taxes and business loans are not a game. This is not schemes and scams. This is not the PPP. And the IRS is not playing with y'all. You don't know how many people are under investigation. And this is the thing. They love to tell y'all when they got the money, but they will not tell you when they being investigated. Because let's just be clear. I'm in Chicago. The FBI has been in Chicago since last February. Cook County Sheriff Office, Cook County Clerk Office, DCFS, juvenile detention. Y'all have family members who have been let go from their job, but they real quiet about it. Y'all have family and friends who have been let go, fired off of their job because of these fraudulent PPP loans. They're not going to tell you that. Everybody loves to get on the internet and say what they got. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. But they're not on here telling you that they under investigation. They're not on here telling you that they lost their job and their pension. You got City of Chicago. That's City of Chicago right now. I'm talking about FBI. 3-letter alphabet. When they come, they come. They coming in with manila folders with y'all tax return. I have a client being investigated, and the client told me they came in with a manila folder with the tax return that I prepared with my company name and information on it, which is normal because I'm a tax office. So yeah, my information gonna be on there. I'm like, I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me that you did the fraudulent loan. You didn't tell me you did the PPP loan. So when we filed your taxes, you didn't have a Schedule C form, ma'am. And that's how they call her. And she only did like $13,000. So some of y'all that be on here like they not getting nobody for no little money for under 20, under 40. Baby, again, you slow to the slow. You a goof troop. Because anything over $9,999, baby, is federal. Okay. And then also the other charges that you get with that, outside of it being a fraudulent loan, you get wire fraud. So that's how they're able to build these cases on y'all. It's not just you did the loan. You also getting hit with fraudulent wire fraud charges. You getting fraud on doing the loan. You getting multiple charges. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not on here to debate and go back and forth. I know what it is. And I'm in financial services. So everybody loves to boast when they got the 20 to 30 to 40,000, but everybody real quiet in Chicago right now because half of your people are under investigation and have lost their jobs. And when I say lost their job, I'm talking about pension. You've been on the City of Chicago working for them for 20 years, and now you done lost your 20-year pension for some quick money. Okay, so that's it. But that's how you go. So if you actually are someone who went to a tax hood okay, who promised you these different learning amounts, different dollar amounts, and then they're not telling you how they got there, or you did not want them to file your tax return and they filed it fraudulently, then that is the process that you have to take. You're going to have to return the way that you want it, prepared the correct way. You're going to have to attach that sheet, form 14157. You may also have to do 14157-A. It's two forms. So we were recommended to do both forms, 14157 and 14157-A. Okay. And that's it. I don't want to have to keep repeating the same thing. But this is a major issue in our culture. It is what it is. This is a major issue in the Black community because you all are the most played when it comes to financial services, because you lack information, because you listen to the wrong people. And I have never lived in the time, I'm 42 years old. I've been doing taxes for almost 20 years. Okay. I have never lived in a time where you have ignorant ghetto mindset people who will argue with the professional. If I'm on here telling you something as a professional, I have people on the internet that are arguing with the professional. It's a new day. That's all I'm gonna say. What they say now, at the end of the day gotta end. And that's how I'm gonna end it. Okay. At the end of the day has to end. Okay. And so some of you all are going to be hit with a major audit. Major audit. To file 19K and give the person 11K is delusional. It is, Takora. It is. But honestly, it's only delusional because she's able to get away with it because she's been doing taxes this way. A lot of them have been doing taxes this way. A lot of our people do not know what's on their tax return. A lot of our people do not have their paperwork. A lot of our people are okay with texting some random chick in Atlanta, Detroit, LA, Houston, they social security number, they W-2s, they kids, they ID. Like, this is not new. This has been happening since the beginning of time. I've been in this industry almost 20 years, and from day one, this is how a lot of people handle business. I'll even admit, in the beginning, I used to allow people to text me they information, because they like, what? Why I gotta fill out all this paperwork? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do that? And you just fold. Plus, especially when you new in the industry and business, you like, oh, fine, I'll just accept it. I don't accept text paperwork. I don't accept email documents. I have a whole CRM system that I pay a lot of money for. So you're going to fill out this form and this paperwork. You're going to upload your documents in this client portal. If you don't want to do that, bye. But we have to get to that point. You get what I'm saying? And so a lot of people who do taxes, they fold because they're trying to make the client happy. And that is how you know that we're not educating our people properly, because I'm no longer in the business of trying to make a client happy. I don't give a damn that you owe $1,000 and you couldn't get back no refund this year. Oh, well, right? I'm not about to break my neck or do all this crazy stuff to get you a refund. You for me, right? And so as tax preparers, because some of y'all are still tax preparers, some of y'all are not tax professionals, but if you are a tax preparer and you starting out and you working with a lot of these clients and a lot of these people, and they want these huge refunds, and it does not feel right to you, it goes against your moral and your ethic, then let that money go. Okay? It's not for you. Because I didn't agree with a lot of that stuff, so I wasn't doing a lot of that stuff. And so they will go to somebody else. So you have to be okay with not making the money in the beginning. It took me longer to make the 6 figures in my business than it took somebody else, because they was okay with doing all them bogus returns. You get what I'm saying? So You have to know and understand who you are and what you bring to the table. I know who I am. I know the information that I share and provide. And I also know how I read and study these laws and information, right? So that's when I got okay with getting online and sharing information with y'all. So that way you could hear the truth. Because again, we are so okay with spreading the wrong and misinformation. But when it's time to really learn and sit down and learn something that is going to benefit you in the long run, it be real deaf ears, right? It'd be like crickets. You may have 8 people watching, right? But if I was talking about the fraud, I have the 20 to 30,000 people watching just how the PPP video blew up, right? And we got 1 million views in less than 24 hours because I was talking about the PPP fraud. But when I get like this, it be real quiet, right? But that's okay because I know who I am. And that's all that matters, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose my integrity or my moral compass over $1. It makes no sense. Because some of you right now know people who made 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 right now during this tax season, doing these $20,000 to $30,000 bogus returns, doing those PPP loans. And where are they? Where are they going to be after this? After April is over, right? If you see them hustling on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook again in less than 6 months, that should tell you something. Real legitimate businesses, we're around. We've survived. If you see me in a different office, it's because I moved, baby. My number is the same. My email is the same. Okay. Real businesses don't move every year. They don't got a different phone number for you to call every year. They don't have to have a private page because they done scam people and owe people money. Big difference. And all year round, Tisha Clemens. Exactly. We ain't just January through April people. My office is open January through December. If you didn't know, you can file individual taxes with an e-file agent. We file taxes all the way up until around the 2nd week of November. The IRS accepts e-file tax returns for individuals all the way up to the 2nd week of November. I file business corporate taxes all the way up until about the 2nd or 3rd week of December. Really the 2nd week. I shut down probably like 2 weeks before the end of the month of December. But yeah. So taxes is not seasonal, right? We say tax season because this is just a very heavy time of the year. But those of us who are really doing taxes all year round, real legitimate business owners and professionals, we're working all year. The money don't stop in April. So again, that should let you know who you're working with. If your person shut down after April, you can't call them, talk to them. They out here hustling and doing whatever. That should be a red flag for you. That should be a red flag for you. I see a couple of people commenting and stuff, but if you all have any questions right now, because I have not been on in a while like this, with open QAs and questions. I'm not doing live internet like this no more. I'm in community. I got private communities. I'm focusing on people who pay because people who pay attention, right? I've been on here 10 years talking to y'all for free. So those days are over with. So you don't see me like that on here no more. So since I got a little bit of time tonight, what time is it? 8:11. We got about 10, 15 minutes. I'll take a couple of questions if you all have any. Steph says all money is not good money. I hope he presses charges. The messed up part is the girl gonna end up changing her phone number and whatever address he went to. I'm sure she's probably not even there anymore. You say I heard a lot of people not getting money back this year. They're not. Taz Entertainment. That's why I said the IRS is not slow to this, y'all. You get what I'm saying? And this is why I said the mindset of the people who are pushing this is really people who come from the scheming and scamming. side, right? YouTube, I haven't looked at you yet. I'm gonna start and go to each one, right? So I'm on Instagram right now. It's not as many people. I'm gonna respond to them. Then I'm gonna do YouTube. Then I'm gonna do Facebook, right? But that's the thing, right? So a lot of people think they're getting away with something because you may know a couple of people that got it. But last year, the IRS has sent all of us tax pros that anybody filing the residential energy credit, anybody filing the fuel tax credit, they actually shut that down. Like they shut it down and stop processing. So some of y'all have reached out to me, hey, I haven't got my 2022 taxes yet. That's why. Because if you have that residential energy or fuel tax credit, a lot of those they have put in a pile and they're going through those and they're reviewing those. So they're not just issuing out the refunds as fast as they were last year. Because of that, if on average 500,000 people file the fuel tax credit, but now this year 5 million people have filed the fuel tax credit, ding ding ding, that's a red flag, right? And this is how many of you are not thinking because you're not in this industry, right? You're not in my industry, so you're not going to think like that. You only worry about taxes at tax time when you're looking for a big refund. But I'm gonna just say this: those of you who get large refunds, that's not something that people who have assets, investments, and money usually see, right? If you have multiple investments, multiple businesses, you don't usually see a large refund because you're making money. Those of you who are seeing large refunds, you may be living below poverty level, right? You may be making less than 40,000. You may be getting you may still qualify for the earned income tax credit. But technically, if you are still qualifying for that, you're below poverty level. So that also means that what does that mean? That means we have to work on your finances. We have to work on your money management, because instead of you expecting a large refund every year, what should be happening is the refund that you're getting, you're putting that money into some type of investment vehicle or business that is going to allow you to make that kind of money every single month. And this is why my client base has changed in the last 5 years, because if you're not a client that wants to grow, you want to stay stuck with getting a little $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 refund, you're not my client. You're not my ideal client. Let me say that. Because we have clients that we service, but also in business, we also have an ideal client, right? So my ideal client wants to grow. My ideal client wants to own property, investment, businesses, travel, not live check to check, want to lead their kids something, have a trust plan and estate plan. You get what I'm saying? My ideal client is not somebody who want to be stuck on their same job or cutting their hours to keep a government assistance check. You're not my ideal client, because you're always going to be in poverty and you're always going to remain in poverty because your mindset is in poverty. You don't have a growth mindset. So when you think like that, then that's how you're going to stay. And this is the conversation that we have to have. It's nothing wrong with me saying that. Somebody got in their feelings last time I said that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being on government assistance, right? I am saying that if you are a grown working man or woman and you can actually get out here and work, yes, I am saying that. Now, if you're disabled, that's different. I'm not talking to you. But if you are 25 and you sitting on your butt all day because you want to receive $1,000 or $1,500 a month government check, you are in a poverty mindset. Because I'm not limiting my life to $1,000 when I could be making 10 to 100,000 in a month. And that's the reality. But that's what we don't talk about. You get what I'm saying? The reality is people are making $10, $20, $30,000 a month. It's not unheard of and it's not uncommon. It's only uncommon to you because you're in a mindset and you're hanging around other people who don't grow. So if you and all of your friends on Section 8 and Link and government assistance, and you fine with popping a bottle or going to Miami once or twice a year and that's your best life, hey, do you. You're just not my client. And it's that simple. Okay. Um, hello, Luxury Home Development Group. I haven't been on Instagram in a long time, but I've always loved your work you and your husband do with the contracting and the fixing up the homes. Hopefully one day I'll be working with you soon on my next investment property. And she's here in Chicago. So any of you all on Instagram right now, looking for a rehab and designer, because her and her husband are a team. She designs and he does the rehab. But I love their work. Never met you before in my life, but I just gave you a nice shout out. Okay, let me get to it because we ain't gonna be on here all night. YouTube, you next. Then Facebook. Valencia, hello. Oh, Francisco, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. That was sweet of you. They are not slow. They know what they doing. Vicky, I be still trying to give our people some grace, right? But I like to say slow to the slow instead of you know what the hell you doing, right? So, we know they know what they doing, girl. You know, I still give them a little bit of grace. You got to allow everybody some grace. Hey, Miss Arnetta, I see you booked your appointment with me today. Mr. Johnson, I haven't forgot you. She say, wow, the madness continues. Girl, this is why I love financial services, because it's always something new every single day. Literally every single day. This is why I love taxes and financial services, because it's something new every single day. My day is never the same. So yes, it's always something. She needs to lose her license. She's not licensed. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This someone with a real license would more than likely not operate that way. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Stop confusing the hood boogers with somebody that's licensed. And these are the people that are licensed. Let's just be clear. I am not licensed. I know many of you all think I am because I'm great at my job and I know what I'm doing, right? But if I were to be licensed, I would be an enrolled agent, right? That's what I'm studying for now that we almost done with the high season of taxes. I'm still doing taxes all year round, but now I can actually study to go ahead and finish my enrolled agent license. When you're an enrolled agent, you're licensed by the IRS. So you're licensed at a federal level, which means when you're an enrolled agent, you're licensed in all 50 states to file, prepare to taxes, go to court on behalf of your client, speak on behalf, represent your client, right? That's the highest level of IRS representation. And then you have a tax attorney and a CPA, okay? That's the order. Because why? A tax attorney is an attorney by the state that they're in. If they decided to move, my sister's a tax attorney. If she decided to leave Washington, D.C. and come here to Chicago, guess what? She has to take a whole nother other exam to be licensed here in Illinois. I don't. If I decide once I'm an EA and I decide to move to Florida, I don't have to take another exam in Florida. So people who have a state licensing like CPAs, tax attorneys, and other licensed professionals, there's a difference from being licensed on the state level, and then there's a difference from having a license that can represent on the federal level. Okay. So just so you know that. So that young lady who I'm talking about that did this fraudulent $19,000 return, baby, she is not licensed. She is not licensed at all. Okay. Nowhere near it. When I started making six figures, I found me an accountant. Yeah, and an accountant is fine. An accountant is not a tax specialist. And that's another thing that a lot of you all fail to realize. A CPA is a certified public accountant. Most CPAs, most, not all, but most CPAs do not specialize in tax law, especially business. I'm a business owner, and so I focus on business taxes and business tax law. Most CPAs do not. I have personally fixed a lot of CPA tax returns. Let's be clear. So an accountant and a tax strategist, a tax expert, an enrolled agent are nowhere near the same thing, baby. Not at all. Okay, so just so you know that an accountant is way different from somebody that's going to be doing taxes and tax knowledge and strategy. Accounting is more auditing and bookkeeping, which you need. You need one on your side. Don't make it seem like that. You need an accountant or a bookkeeper. But when it comes to these taxes, no, they are not the number one in the industry. No, they are not. Can he file a police report on her? I mean, he probably can, but what's that going to do? I mean, right? What's the police report going to do? That's the whole point of us getting on the phone to call the IRS to find out what is the proper procedure, what is the proper steps that he needs to take to file the fraudulent claim that she filed the taxes without his knowledge, without his consent, right? But then also now, how can he fix this and get that $19,000 off of his name? Because right now, that $19,000 refund is attached to him and his social security number. So once we finish the paperwork and we send everything in, that will clear that $19,000 balance that he has with the IRS, that $19,000 refund that the IRS shows. And then once they do their investigation, they'll be able to see her. They can look up IP address. They can look up where the taxes was filed, what system she used. Did she file on TurboTax? The money went to her bank account or whoever bank account. It didn't go to him. So they can trace and see all of that. So it's going to take some time, but it will process and it will get taken out of his name for the $19,000. We'll file the real tax return of the $3,000 refund. And then maybe before the end of the year, he'll actually get his $3,000 refund. And then that's it. But, filing paperwork on her and all that other stuff, that's really not going to do nothing. That's just a waste of time with the police department, to be honest. So, KKMK. Okay, YouTube, y'all been on here acting up tonight. Appreciate the tip. You tip me as well. KMK just sent another tip. Come on, KMK. Thank you. Appreciate you, KMK. You sent 2 tips. Let's roll. Okay, I got a couple more questions on YouTube. Then I'll get to, especially because YouTube tipping. Sorry, Facebook. Y'all got to wait. YouTube understands when you get somebody on here and how you treat somebody. Thank you. You say 7 years, you on pins and needles. I wonder what would happen to the woman who signed off on the client's return. So they do normally go after and investigate the people, but I'm not going to worry about what would happen with her. My biggest thing is more concerned with getting my client his proper refund and making sure that fuel tax credit that she put on there. Because that's why I said his proper refund was $3,000, y'all. So how does she get to $19,000? You get what I'm saying? Y'all cannot just be allowing. Now, in his case, this didn't happen to him. He didn't allow it, right? This is why I like him, because he called me immediately, was like, no, I want to fight this. I don't want that against my name. I don't want the IRS to come back after me in a couple of years. Like, I don't want none of that. That's why I'm working with him, right? Because if he would have been fine with it, then gone about your business, right? But that's the whole reason why I'm helping him and working with him, because he is one of those people that's like, no, I did not sign off on this. I did not agree to this. How can I fix this? I do not want this $19,000 to come back on me, because it will. It always does. They're just never going to come and tell you, oh, I'm under investigation for $20,000 with the IRS. Y'all act like somebody going to really come and tell y'all that. This is why I don't do a lot of taxes in Chicago, because I can't tell y'all business anyway, right? But people don't want you to see their real finances. People be on the internet real extra, putting on a facade for y'all. But people like me in financial services that see the paperwork, we see the bank statement, we see the taxes. I know you a fraud. I know you lying to the ground. I know you faking for the ground, right? So it is what it is. People are getting hit with the mortgage fraud for not reporting the EIDL loans that were not disclosed on the mortgage application. So mortgage, you said, I heard people are getting hit for the mortgage fraud and not reporting the EIDL loans. Now let me just say this. When you take out a business loan, you do not have to report that you received a loan, right? You don't have to report loan income on a tax return. So I don't know what you're saying with that, with the mortgage and the EIDL loans. I'm not a mortgage lender, so I can't talk about that. I could bring on one of my experts, Cecilia Marlowe, as a mortgage lender, Loan Bay. I got a couple of mortgage lenders that I work with, Natasha Robinson, loan officers that do this all day, every day. They can confirm that. So I'm not going to speak on what I don't do, right? But if you heard that, that might be something I need to reach out to them and we have a conversation about. You say, yep, one of my coworkers was walked out of the sheriff department. I know. A lot of people been getting walked out their job. Like I said, they're not gonna tell you that part. Thank you for always sharing your gems. You are welcome. Don't let your tax preparer receive your tax refund. They shouldn't. Let me tell you this. I am an authorized e-file agent and I have bank products. If you all don't have a bank account, it's called we're going to issue you a cashier's check. So if I say your check is ready, your check is not coming from my bank account. Your check is right here and it's being printed directly from my bank product site. And it's going to say what the IRS sent you for your federal. You're going to get a check for federal. You're going to get a check for state. If you didn't want a check, I could issue you a net spend card if you don't want the money to go to your bank account. No tax person would be receiving your refund. I'm not receiving nobody's tax refund to my personal account or my business account. That's not how business is done. So again, if you all are working with somebody and you don't have no paperwork and they just randomly message you, oh, your money ready, how you get my money? Why is my money coming to you? These are questions that y'all should be asking these people. But some of y'all just be so greedy to get the little 10,000 that you're not even asking questions. And you the ones who I'm calling slow to the slow. You the ones who I'm calling a goof troop. Because baby, where do they do that at? So even if you don't have a bank account, we have ways to get you your money. You get what I'm saying? It's called, here go a net spend card. Take that with you. Walk on out the door. It's called, here go your cashier's check. There you go. You could take it to Walmart and cash it for less than $6. Bam. I'm not putting nobody money in my account. Y'all tripping. And this is the way that some of these people have trained y'all. And when y'all work with somebody like me, you like, oh, you asking for too much. No, baby, you asking for too little. Step your standards up. Step your game up. Big difference. Okay, now it's time to get over here. So somebody say people act like that bank product account be your own personal account. They do, Tisha, because I had a girl message me too. Like, they said it went to your bank account. I said, okay. You mean it went to Refundo? So when I logged into Refundo, it said print her a check. So when she came up here, this is what she got. She got a check. She was like, oh, I thought when the IRS said it went to your account, like it went to your real account. I said, baby, who you think you talking to? Who do you think you were working with? Like that. I told you that when we filed your taxes, if for some reason, because this is the other thing, because I'm glad Tisha said that. This is the other thing, that when we can put the information, let's just be clear. We can put the information of direct deposit, because all of my clients usually do direct deposit unless they need a check or a net spend account, right? But say, go print me a check. I'm so, but this is the thing, y'all. We are only the processor. Let me also say that. We are only the processor. So you come to me, we are the middleman between you and the IRS, right? So the same way some of y'all go on TurboTax and file y'all taxes, but TurboTax and me is not the same. Don't get it twisted, okay? Not the same at all. right? But they're a middleman. Same way office is. If you go to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, right? We are the middleman between you and the IRS. We're going to be the way that we are going to be the ones that enter in the tax return for you, process it, explain it to you in detail, what you qualify for, what you don't qualify for. And then my office, those of us who are e-file agents, right? We are filing it electronically and processing it for you. Once we get that acceptance, because normally we get an acceptance in less than a minute. If you here in my office and I file you, we get that acceptance usually in less than 1 minute. Those of y'all that be on TurboTax, sometimes y'all be waiting 12 hours, 14 hours for an acceptance, 24 hours for an acceptance. We don't do that over here. With an e-file agent, we get an acceptance immediately, literally in less than a minute. I think the longest I've seen an acceptance was 5 minutes. And that's probably because it was a lot of people like now in the April time frame or on tax deadline day. It's so many people, it's millions of people processing. So it may be 5 minutes, right? But in less than 5 minutes, you got accepted. Once we get that acceptance, that's it. There's nothing else that I can do. I can't call the IRS on your behalf looking for your refund and where it's at. That's your job, right? That's why we give you your paperwork. So that way you can follow up on the where's my refund site. I don't go checking where's my refund for clients. Again, you're used to those people who are on the side and they looking for that money. So they checking it for y'all. Okay. Nah. Most of us professionals, we don't got time to be checking your dang on where's my refund because we got work to do. Okay. That's your responsibility. But we put on the tax return direct deposit. On your paperwork, it shows it. If you look at the screen and the information, it shows direct deposit with your bank name, routing, and account number. There are times where the IRS will send a check. Now, there are times where the IRS will send a check to the bank product company, or they will mail you all the check directly. And again, this is why, as professionals, you need to be clear with who you're working with, because I've only had one client who got the check and didn't pay me. Thank God. Right? But I have a base of people with morals and integrity that when they get that check in the mail, they're like, oh, Patrice, this is the whole refund amount. This don't look like your fee was deducted. It wasn't. So know and understand this. If you went to somebody, a professional, let's not say somebody, you went to a professional and they prepared your taxes, even though we put direct deposit on there have been instances where the IRS will mail you the check directly. It could be an account number is off, maybe your address changed, whatever it is. I don't know. I can't speak on why the IRS does this. But what happens is when they do that, they don't take out our fee that we charged you. So now it is your responsibility. If your refund was $8,000 and my fee was $700, and you get a check in the mail for $8,000, you already know that I don't know why some of y'all be wanting to act slow and dumb, because you know that. Quote you the refund was $8,000 and you get an $8,000 check. You know for a fact that your tax professional did not get paid. So it is your responsibility to pay them out of that IRS refund check. Now, the beautiful thing is, if they catch it and you have a bank product, a lot of times that's how I end up having to issue you a check, a cashier's check, because something was going on with the account, whatever. The IRS said, hey, we're going to send you the check. But sometimes they will still mail the check to the client, even if we do a bank product. So like I said, for me, thankfully, and maybe my clients just know don't play no games with me, because baby, I will go to the end for my money. I will put you in credit. I will put you on collections. I will put a lien up against you. Don't play about my money. Okay. So thank God I've only had one person in my time of doing this that did not pay me when they got their check, and they just kind of went ghost. but they got away with it. But God bless you when you do, when God bless you, so you don't be too worried about it. But some of y'all, if y'all got people, that's why you can't do taxes for everybody, because a lot of these people do not have integrity. You say, how embarrassing getting walked out for that foolishness. Girl, Arnetta, unfortunately, and I'm not, let me just say this very clear. I am not laughing by far at anybody who has lost their job, pension job, W-2 wage job, 10-9, it don't matter. My whole point of doing that PPP video was to help you all not be in this bind. But so many people did the PPP loan. The whole freaking world, the whole freaking country did the PPP loan. Okay. Like it was that many people. I thought it was just Chicago, but literally that many people did the PPP loan and didn't really have the real information, right? But now with this taxes, this is different because most of y'all have been filing taxes your whole life. The PPP was new. Nobody knew about it. EIDL was new. We had never had that before. So I'm going to give y'all grace on that. But y'all been filing these damn taxes since you've been working. If you've been working since you were 17, you've been filing taxes for 20, 30 years. Don't get on here and act brand new like you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to these refund amounts. All right? And so that's why I be like, don't message me after the fact when you getting audited and investigated. It's not nothing I could do at that point. You said, are your fees available to file a non-business owner taxes? So I do individual taxes as well as businesses. Yes, Valencia. I don't only do businesses. I just really, really like business and business taxes. I was taught that. When you get a business owner, business owners have to file taxes. Business owners also have family members. So normally if you're working with a business owner and they like you, they're going to refer you to their friends, their family, their kids, their wife, their daughter, their brother. You get what I mean? So one business client, I can get 5 people from that one business client versus working with individual people, because most individual people is just looking for the biggest refund, right? And so again, that's why I also have a specific client base of individuals who I like to work with. My ideal client is you make 6 figures, you make $100,000 or more, because a lot of them owe. So I like helping clients that owe and help get them out of owing or help lower their taxable amount due, right? Whether they got properties, investments, things like that. But it's not that I won't do those taxes. It's just depending on where your mind is, right? But if you come in here with one of them kind of that attitudes, like, no, I'm not working with you at all. So, but I do like to express who my ideal client is. I do. Okay, I'm sorry. Facebook, here we go. Everybody else already. Hey, attorney Alexis McDowell. She said, who filed the fraudulent claim? The tax preparer? Yes. So we have to file the fraudulent claim. It's called the Return Preparer Complaint Document, Attorney McDowell. It's called Form 14157 for anybody that's just now coming in. That's the name of the tax form. It's called Form 14157. It's called Return Preparer Complaint. So you can complain against an actual preparer. You can complain against a CPA, an enrolled agent, a certified public accountant, payroll service, or other. So you would have to select other if you went to one of these little side boogers that's doing all this fraud for y'all. But it's going to ask for that person's name, phone number, website. And that's what I'm saying. Majority of these people are not going to have that. They're not going to have a P10. They're not going to have an EFIN. Those of us who have those real credentials, we're not doing those bogus taxes like that, right? So yeah, my client is the one who has to file the form. And then now we have to mail in his tax return. I'm just not, I see that you were on here. I had already answered the people on IG. So Nicole, you said, can he amend it? No, he can't amend it because he don't have the original return. In order for you to amend the tax return, we need the original full copy of the tax return, right? Just a 1040 doesn't show all of the pages and forms to do an amendment. So that's why I said whoever he talked to on customer service, they gave him misinformation. And unfortunately, they are an IRS worker on a recorded line. So hopefully somebody catches that when they do what they call them, the calls, the quality insurance calls. Hopefully somebody catches that quality insurance call, because that was the wrong information that they gave him to file an amendment. He shouldn't be filing an amendment when it was a fraudulent tax return, right? So this is the process that you would do if you have a fraudulent tax return filed against you and you did not approve the person to submit that tax return. You didn't sign anything. They didn't provide you with any numbers, nothing. This is the form that you have to fill out. And then you also have to mail in the real tax return that you want processed as well, right? So mail or fax in all of those forms plus this one, and then they will open up an investigation on your behalf. Okay. Okay, so some of y'all questions went away. So the first one that I see on, what's up, Mr. Arnold? I don't know if you're still on here. I've been on here an hour, it looks like. Yeah, I've been on a little over an hour. Arnold, I know Arnold out there in those streets putting those houses together. He flipping cars and houses. I'm proud of you, Arnold. It's all going to fall back on the person who's using their social. Tavara say, I'm over these scammers. Girl, I'm so over them because they affecting regular life at this point. Like, it's not even about, and that's how you also know the mindset of some of these people today. To tell somebody who is a professional that they hating, y'all sound slow to the slow again. Y'all are straight goof troops who think like that. What do I have to hate on? You getting fried money don't have nothing to do with me, right? So I have no reason to hate on you. But you doing stuff that's affecting my business and industry that I personally have been in for the last 20 years and have the right to speak on, you are the real goof troop, not me. Okay? So y'all need to really stop saying that you hating on somebody. That's another term that you newer generation uses too vaguely, that somebody hating on you. Can't nobody hate on you and you outside the club. You can't even get in. I'm in the club, licensed and bonded. You outside the club, fraudulently trying to get in, and you got the nerve to call somebody a hater. Like, y'all be sounding real slow. It used to blow me. Now that stuff don't bother me. But I used to be like, again, y'all, this new mindset and generation, baby, I can't with y'all. I came with y'all. Bring me back, take me back to the 2000s when people had a real brain and thought for themselves and not this group thing. Oh, and then I also get called a pick me if I say something to the females. That's another thing that y'all done came up with today. This whole pick me with that group think mindset. Baby, I don't follow the crowd. If you didn't know, I'm a Gemini, baby. We stand alone very often. Okay. And one thing I don't do is follow the crowd. So I'll be a pick me all day when I don't agree with the whack crap that y'all out here spewing on this internet today. At all. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Tavara on here putting the information. Thank you, Tavara, again for typing in the form so that way they know it. So he didn't take any money from her. No. When she texted him, and she texted him, she wouldn't answer the phone. I had him call her on three-way so I could try to say something. She won't answer the phone. She only texts him. So I know it's probably a burner phone. That's why I said they're not going to really get nothing from her, because most of these people use burner phones. So it's only so much you could track with those. And then, no, so he didn't take the money. He didn't take the money because he knows the consequences with the money. That's what I'm saying. He could get $11,000 right now, right? But why would he take $11,000 knowing that she put $19,000 and she done swiped $8,000 of his money? So no, he didn't take any money. You say, I'm so glad that I grew up out of the hood booker phase. I am too, Tavara, because girl, I remember when we first met, you was looking at me like, what? I was like, Tavara, now are we here for growth or are we here to stay in a poverty mindset? And you was like, okay, okay, okay. I'm here for growth. I love you, Tavara. Say, and they will come, and they will come back. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody who done got some money some years ago, baby, it done came back. People just be real quiet about it. If you have a house, they are placing a lien on it. I don't play with the IRS. The people now they can do liens. Yes, they can. Liens and judgments, and they also do liens against y'all wages, W-2 wages. So they can concept the IRS is the only one who can put a levy on your bank account, and the IRS is the only one who could call your employer and say that they can take money out of your payroll check. Okay. So yeah, they definitely are doing that and will do that when you don't communicate with them. That's usually for people who don't communicate with them. I would say that. They're not just going to automatically out the gate put a judgment on you. They usually send you letters first. Y'all just not opening up the letters, or you're not reading them, or you're not responding to them right away. Because you also cannot wait years and months to respond to them, y'all. I'm working with a lady now who got audited in 2022 and is just now getting the paperwork and and reaching out to a professional now a year and a half later because they're getting ready to take the money out of the payroll check. So like that's when a lot of y'all want to get on it, like, oh my God, now they about to come after my payroll. No, the moment you get an IRS letter, I need you to respond. If you don't know how to respond, I need you to be okay with calling a professional and paying the money for somebody to help you. Because waiting a year, 2 years, you're making the situation worse, right? Because you're getting interest and penalty every single month that you owe them. Let's just say it's a daily accrual, okay? But at minimum, every month, you're getting interest and penalty added on to that balance due. So you could have owed 8,000 in 2022. Oh, but now it's 2024. Oh yeah, you could easily owe them 13,000. It could easily go up to that amount because interest and penalty. So that's why you don't want to prolong those letters when you receive them. Do not respond to the IRS. Okay, that's the worst thing to do, is to not respond. You need to respond and get in some type of communication. At minimum, get on $100 a month payment plan with them. You can afford that, right? And then in the meantime, you could still be working with someone who can help assist you with getting the balance down or doing an offer and compromise or whatever. But always immediately get on the payment plan with them. And then you can work on working with somebody to get the situation rectified, okay? But y'all not answering them at all, it makes it worse. Eartha, you say, I know people that worked for Cook County, fired their ass for the people. Again, I'm not laughing at the people, right? I'm really laughing at y'all on here, how some of y'all commenting. But yes, Eartha, unfortunately, a lot of city and county workers in Chicago have recently lost their job in the last year. So I'm not surprised that you know people who have lost their job. And that's why I said that's the sad part to me, is that because those kind of jobs, they got pension. Like county and city, y'all got good pensions. Some of these pensions, some of my clients getting the $5,000 a month in retirement and pension. Okay, 7,000. If you are a school worker, y'all got to wait till y'all retire to get that real good income. But some of my school teachers, retired school teachers, 8,000 a month. Like y'all good, y'all get great pension. And to know that somebody unfortunately has lost their job and their pension, all for a little measly 20,000. Now we always talk about, what the other people do, right? What the YT people do. But one thing they don't do is they don't mess up their life for no 20 and 30 and 40,000. Our people do it all the time. And that's what I dislike about y'all. If y'all gonna go for it, go for the gusto. Like, I mean, be a billionaire, get a million, something out of it. At least some of them PPP people who went to jail, they got some millions. Okay. But y'all out here doing all of this for 20, 30, 40,000, baby, them crackhead prices. Like, y'all be risking it all for some little money. They just had an article on the IRS site about a guy. This man was 76 years old. They didn't realize that his financial services firm was a Ponzi scheme until just now. He's 76. Because they run their business like a business. They run the scheme like a business. That's the difference with them. So I need some of y'all to stop comparing what they do and what y'all doing, because, baby, it ain't the same. All right? Because I will say, at least if they going to do it, their whole family is paid for and taken care of the rest of their life. Y'all out here going to jail for 20 and 30,000 and you ain't got no pension. Your kids is about to be messed up and on the street. Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm a professional and I'm not supposed to say that, but I'm sorry. That's just whew, that's it. I'm not saying nothing else on that. They are, especially the ones they say something negative when they don't like to pay you for your services. Yes, luxury home. They are. It's a new breed, girl. It's a new breed that we working with out here. It's a it's a new breed, girl. I don't know what one of these new people drinking, baby. It's a different breed out here. It's a different breed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I ain't supposed to say that. I'm just saying though. I watch American Greed. I love American Greed. Like I told y'all I don't watch TV. If I do, it's like Netflix or Amazon, but I don't watch like regular cable TV, right? I don't watch none of that. So if I watch stuff, it's dealing with like money and cases, and I'll be looking at American Greed like, baby, these people be 50 millionaires, like $50 millionaires, and it'd be a whole Ponzi scheme. Like they live and walk and talk the life. Like that's one thing I will say. If they gonna do it, baby, they gonna go for the gusto. Y'all be out here risking it for a lace front wig, and that's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not risking my life for no lace front wig prices. I'm sorry. No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Tisha say no money this year. I have questions, but I can't ask go live. It's more about the move. Okay, Tavara, I'm actually working on your taxes tonight. So you can message me, or once I'm done off here, then we could talk. Um, it's something wrong with staying on assistance. It is, G. It is. This is what I be trying to tell us. And that's why I said them girls on them I pissed them girls off on TikTok, baby. They came in the comments calling me a pick me. I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to enlighten y'all and empower y'all mindset, and y'all want to stay stuck in poverty. Like I don't know what to tell you, okay? But I'm not gonna be the one to sugarcoat it. Like y'all, you can't be out here telling a man you want him to make six figures, but you are one government check away from being put out on the streets. Like the government it is your daddy. The government pays your bills. Like if Section 8 or low income do not pay your rent, or they say we are no longer paying link and Section 8, what they gonna do? And that's exactly what I said on TikTok. And baby, them girls was mad because you know what? Because the truth hurt. The truth hurt. You 25 years old, okay, with being on a $1,200 a month check, baby, you in poverty. You are. So when I say let's think bigger, let's not be passing down Section 8 like it's a badge of honor, because you got 5 generations on it, and all of y'all think it's okay. That's why half my cousins don't like me. I have a huge family. Huge family. But when I want to have this real conversation, that's when people get in their feelings. But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth and the facts is the facts, because God forbid the government shuts down and say, we're no longer paying Section 8 rent. What you gonna do? And that should be a real reality in your mind. It should not be, oh, this money is gonna always be here. The drug dealers thought that too. That's why you watching BMF and Power and all that stuff on TV, because real life drug dealers thought that same way, that the drug game was never gonna dry out. It was never gonna end. And that's why you got a lot of old heads who still don't got nothing, because they thought that money was gonna be coming forever. And then them droughts came. And then card cracking came, and a whole nother other level came. Half the drug dealers is card crackers now. Everybody thinks that the money flow will never stop. And that's the real reality of life, is it always stops. It's always some point in life where the money flow is going to stop. Even if it's not necessarily going to stop, they've definitely been taking some of y'all vouchers away. Some of y'all that was getting 3 bedrooms and paying $2,000 a month, they telling you, oh, you can go down to a 2 bedroom, or you could go down to a 1 bedroom. You're not getting $300, $400, $500 on link no more. Now they cutting your link in half. Why? They got a whole nother other group of people in this country now that they paying for. There all these migrants coming in. That's a whole nother other thing. Taxpayers is paying that money. So now your money that you used to get is not the same, because now they got a whole nother other group of people in this country that they're fitting the bill for. And let's just even go there. I'm even go there tonight and say something else to y'all. All of y'all that's on any type of government assistance, whether it's link, low income, Section 8, all of y'all need to be up in arms, and you need to be down at these offices marching and stumping and yelling at the rooftops why you are not happy. Because at the end of the day, what I don't understand is how y'all are okay with these people getting $9,000 a month vouchers. What American citizen have they ever given $9,000 to? Any of you all that's on here and you get link or you get Section 8, add up how much your voucher been. Have your voucher ever been $9,000? Has it ever been $9,000? I've never been on link or government assistance a day in my life. Thank God. My mama never been on it. My mama refused it. She didn't want to. Okay. So I don't know the application process. I don't know what y'all go through. But what I do know is I was fighting for 6 weeks down at the alderman office, at the mayor office last year, for a lot of y'all rights, for a lot of you all who received this assistance. I was fighting for my mother, which also helped me fight for you. But the fact that it was very few of us down there, and all of y'all on here receiving this money and benefits, and y'all real quiet, that's the reason why nothing will change in this country, and why America is getting ready to get even worse. Because too many of y'all, whether you black, white, green, Asian, I don't care what color you are, if you on Section 8, link, low income, government assistance, all of y'all need to be outside of your alderman, your mayor, your governor, your congressman office, calling, blowing the phone up. They should not be able to sleep at night, because ain't no way in hell, none of you Americans have a $9,000 voucher, when in the city of Chicago, the immigrants do. How? So I'm no longer going down there and spending days and time out of my business, because I know how to make money on my own without nobody help. So if y'all are going to remain on this government assistance, this is a public service announcement to you right now. Get up off your ass and speak up for yourself. Because right now, y'all are just waiting to be pushed out. waiting for it, and it's coming, and it's happening every single day. The amount of money, Illinois has already spent over $437 million. $437 million from Illinois alone in the last year and a half. And these people got $9,000 vouchers, medical, link, housing, buying their furniture, their beds, everything. You had to get your own furniture and bed. They gave you the housing voucher, but did they pay for your bed and your furniture? No, they didn't. So the fact that most of y'all on here are quiet and silent and been quiet and silent, baby, keep letting them play you in your face if you want to. And that's your problem. And unfortunately, for people who look like me, y'all have always been silent and complacent. And when you get complacent and when you become silent, because y'all not tired. Let's be clear. Our ancestors was the ones who did all the work. My grandmother was the one who was fighting on the front line for teachers who could have been lynched. We live in a time that our ancestors could not imagine. They're the ones who did the work. They're the ones who did the backbreaking work and built this country. So let's be clear. It's not you and I. We're receiving the benefits, and that's the problem. Y'all have forgot who put the blood, sweat, and tears in for you. You act like you just woke up and now we got a society. Like, no, you got ancestors that died for you to be here. And the fact that you are complacent and you are okay with how you are being treated in this country right now, it shows a lot. And that's another reason why I've kind of gotten off the internet and why I don't interact on here as much as I used to with y'all, because it's too much. Because when you are somebody who come from a civil rights background, which all of y'all do, let's be clear, all of y'all got civil rights grandparents, aunts, and uncles, just like I do. Again, you're not tapped in, you're not paying attention. You done let the Western world and society blind you with bullshit of labels and a nice car and a Louis bag and a Gucci bag and think that you somebody now. That shit means nothing. So those of us with real integrity and real morals and real leadership and who still talk to the ancestors, who still listen and understand the blood, sweat, and tears that was fought for in this country. We don't have conversations with you regular folk, as I call y'all. Because you think you got a label on that means something, baby, you're brainwashed. You have been bought by the Western society, right? But so many of you all reap the benefits of what happened in this country, okay? But now another thing is happening, and once again, many of us are silent. You all have become so complacent and lazy. Somebody just put it on here, Tisha. People of color are lazy. I hate to say it, but they are. But the jobs that they taking are not always, I won't say that these lazy bums won't do, right? Because I understand not wanting to work for Amazon for $12 an hour and you sweating for 18 to 20 hours when Amazon is making billions of dollars. That's the problem. These corporate companies want to pay American citizens a non-living wage. Who in America could really live off of $12 an hour, $14 an hour, $9 an hour, $10 an hour? Minimum wage in federal government is still $7. Who in the hell is living off of $7? I may be, because I don't have no kids, but those of y'all that got kids, y'all can't live off of $7 an hour wages. And that's the problem. These corporations are so greedy that they have given your job to the Indian people, to the Asian people. That's all who you hear on your call center now, because their call centers are now overseas, because they don't even want to pay regular Americans $15 to $20 an hour to answer Comcast, AT&T. But these companies are making billions. So I'm not going to call somebody lazy to say, no, you don't want to work for them pennies when you know this fucking company is making billions. That was just like me working for the bank. The bank want to pay me $40,000, but I'm doing $3 million in sales. How? Then you want to cut commissions and all this other stuff? No. It's called, we should be making a livable wage in America with the amount of money that these companies make. But the other thing is y'all have to get off the internet. Complaining and talking about it here on my live, this don't do nothing. Mayor Brandon can't see this. The governor can't see this. Biden can't see this. Congressmen, Senate are not looking at these comments that y'all are doing online. You have to get up and get out and get in their face. That's the only way against it. But nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to stay online being keyboard. This is what y'all are today. Keyboard typers. Just keyboard. Keyboard queen, king and queen. Y'all saw that cat meme? That's y'all. That's majority of y'all today. The cat meme. Internet keyboard typers. So we cannot expect change to happen when nobody's willing to stand up. And if you got 1 or 2 or 3 people out there, like it was a few of us down there at the council, right? We started growing. And then once you start growing, oh, guess what? We started off down there with like 5 people, 7 people. Oh, we got up to about 30, 40 people. Guess what? They started bringing the police force up there. Now, all of a sudden, we need 30 police up here. When just 2 weeks ago, y'all barely had 3 police officers up here. Oh, but now that we're growing as a crowd and you see that we bringing some attention to this, oh, now it's let's bring in the police force. Oh, let's set up and take the seats up so now they can't come in to the chamber. And we're going to say, oh, the CTU people was here first and let them fill up the seats first so the American people or the American citizens of Chicago don't have a voice. So these was all the type of games that they played that I got to see for myself, because once you get off the internet and you actually go down to the city hall and you actually go into city council chamber and you see all of the aldermen, you see them come in, you see their attitudes, you see them being uppity and snooty like they shit don't stink. You see the mayor coming in, you see them trying to block our voices. You get to see a lot of stuff clearly when you get in the room. When you get off of the internet keyboard typing, it's a big difference. You're able to see clearly how your government feels about you, how everything is controlled, how they try to shut your voice at that point. But when you rebellious and you start making noise and you start showing videos and you start putting the information out there for the American public to see, because a lot of y'all was like, I didn't know all this was going on. Oh my God. Yeah, because somebody got to go down there and film it and tape it so you could see it. But even after 6 weeks of going down there at least 3 to 4 times a week, we got nothing accomplished. And let me tell you why we got nothing accomplished. Because we don't know how to organize. We don't know how to organize. I invited about 10 of them from downtown to come back here to my office. I paid for their lunch. We had we had all got riled up and we came back down here and I tried to have a conversation with them. And y'all know how I am. I'm real. None of these people knew me from Adam. That was our first day meeting that day that I invited them down here to my office after we left the council. But after 6 weeks of working with them or trying to work with them, What I realize is we have no structure and we have no order, and we don't know how to organize. When I was telling them, it was a lady, it was an older lady, one of the main ones that's always on TV. She got a Louis bag on. And I shared with her, I said, we're going to have to control how we're spending our money. Oh, and she flipped out. Baby, me and her got into it. We got into it at City Hall, and we almost had words here again. But she an elder and a senior, so I was trying to be respectful, but you ain't going to talk to me crazy over and over again any kind of way. So we ended up having some words at the end. But what she wasn't understanding was she immediately went into defense mode with, what? You can't tell me how to spend my money and how to use my money? We on here talking about fighting for rights and people. And this is my mindset with some of y'all. Y'all want the oppressor to be the oppressor when you want them to be the oppressor. You don't look at buying labels as supporting your oppressor. So it's okay with you to spend your money at Louis Vuitton. It's okay for you to spend your money at Chanel, Tiffany, all of these YT-owned companies. And you're helping their trust fund babies. So every time you buy a label that's non-Black, that money is not going to the Black community. So when people who want to say you fighting for rights, but you okay with having on full labels, I don't take y'all serious. I don't. That's just my personal opinion. I have the right to feel that way. I'm not a label whore. I didn't grow up that way. My grandmother was a civil rights leader, the first African American teacher to fight for equal pay in this country. Viola Louise Duval Stewart, 1943. She won her case. My grandmother used to sit me on her lap, sit in her chair, and share stories with me of how companies like Tiffany were the shackles for the slaves. So while you glorifying Tiffany in this blue box, they also shackled and enslaved your ancestors. So you spending the money with them does not make you somebody because you have on Tiffany or Louis or Gucci. You actually look retarded. This is how I feel. And this is how y'all feel. Y'all feel how y'all feel. This is how I feel. I feel like you look retarded, glorifying a company that oppressed your people. And still to this day, because when you walk in there, they ain't happy to see you. They're happy to see that green that you about to spend, that card that you about to swipe. But you think that the salesperson is going to go home that night and be like, oh, I sold this wonderful Louis bag and this $5,000 Louis bag to this beautiful Black woman today. Baby, that ain't the conversation at all. And I've shared that with you. If y'all ever see a label on me, somebody else bought it. Patrice will never take her hard-earned $5,000 and go and shop at Louis Vuitton or Tiffany or Gucci. I will take my money and go to a Black-owned purse seller. I will take my money and go to a Black-owned company that sells bags and beautiful leather and bags and that I will do. But I am not brainwashed by Western society that has taught you to, like Kanye, now he need his own advice at this point, that has taught you to hate yourself and love their things and their wealth, because that is money that is going to their trust fund babies. Louis, your kids will never see $1 of Louis trust fund. Your kids will never see $1 of Tiffany or Gucci or Gold or MCM, whatever label that y'all love, even Jordan with the Nikes, right? Now, the most that you would get me to invest in a label is a stock. Oh, I'll buy Louis Vuitton stock because y'all gonna buy them bags. Oh, I'll buy some Nike stock. Oh, because y'all gonna buy them Jordans every month that they come out, baby. But in the same sentence, you will say, oh, but they are holding me down from doing this. But you spending your money with them. But we down there fighting for rights, but you wearing the Louis bag to your chest. When I say you can't spend your money with them, oh, you flip out on me. What? I can't spend my money. I can spend my money on what I want to spend my money on. And that is why the hood look the way you do. And that is why your community looks the way that it does, baby. You're sure right. You can spend your money on whatever you want to spend it on. And it shows. And it shows. And it shows. Because we're the only ones in America still having this same whack, weak ass conversation about labels and brands and our communities looking the way they do. Shooting up. Chicago is how many shootings every single day? This is why I don't watch the news or the TV no more. Every single day. And it's not just in Chicago. It's in every Black major city in the United States. That's how you know it's cultural. It's a mindset. It's a problem that we have to talk about and we have to address. But too many of y'all get into your feelings and want to call me a pick me because I'm speaking the truth. The truth hurts. Sometimes. Because it don't always have to hurt. Sometimes the truth could be the truth and you could shut up sometimes and actually listen versus wanting to speak every time somebody like me talks. Instead of listening to what I'm saying, y'all get in defense mode. And then that's when you be like, well, you can't tell me to do this and you can't tell me to do that. You're right. I can't. I can't make nobody do nothing. I can only say what I see. What is in my vision, in my view, my opinion, right? But as a whole, as a community, if every major city in the United States is facing the same issue, then hello, that's a groupthink problem. It's not one off. We have shooters in Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, LA, Houston. Woo, woo, woo. We not together as a whole. But we want to keep having these same dumb conversations about 50-50 and taking you to a cheesecake restaurant. And that's what I'm saying. If you are a woman and you are living and depending on the government, who in the hell are you to tell this man he got to be making 6 figures to talk to you? Y'all sound dumb as hell. Y'all crazy. That don't even make sense. And the more that I'm seeing these conversations and even having to come across the mindset of some of these young ladies, I see why so many men are frustrated with y'all today, because this is ludicrous. But now I also see why some of the young ladies are the way that they feel with these young men, because y'all are ludicrous as well. Everybody needs therapy. Okay. But we have to have these conversations. Simple as that. So I'm going to bring on my good friend Chuck. Chuck and I, not next week. Is it next week or the week after? I think it's the week after, because I got so much going on in Chicago with the board. We got Community Day coming up. I want to say it's the week after, the week of the 19th. Yes, the 20th, April 20th. So I have scheduled within my community, but we're going to, because we have to have these conversations. And part of who I am is to make you think. My old slogan used to be, I boost mindsets, because I want to tap into your head and I want you to go tonight and think about what I said. And think about it not in your feelings, because that's the problem too. A lot of y'all wear your feelings right here on your sleeve when it comes to real issues, right? You ain't in your feelings on issues that really don't matter. Like the 50-50, you okay with talking about that all day. But when it comes to talking about your money, your finances, your credit, your mindset, how you think as a man and as a woman, how we are supposed to grow as a whole, as a community, y'all getting y'all feelings. And I need y'all to step outside of your feelings. And maybe that's just me because I'm a Gemini again, and we are very good with that. With being able, we are analytical. I'm a very analytical thinker, and most of the Geminis that I know, that's how we are. So I'm able to step outside of myself and be like, this Patrice right here. Let me come over here. Let me step out, and I'm peaches right now, and I could clearly see the situation, the vision. You get what I mean? Some of y'all are so ingrained into your wanting to have a, wanting to have a response. And this don't necessarily require a response. This may just be a time that you need to just sit and listen to what I'm saying without trying to respond. Because that's why we have a lot of back and forth. No one's really listening. Y'all are arguing with each other on the internet, which is crazy as hell. But the argument that I see between men and women, nobody's listening to each other. You're just battling back and forth with responses, which make you look crazy, right? Which is why I don't do arguing on the internet with people, right? But if you are able to step outside of your mindset and how you actually think, right, and look at it from a overall level, especially as a community, because how are we going to grow? I know we are way off topic with taxes, but y'all know how I am. This is what I do. We start off with business, then we roll on into some real life topics and conversation, because y'all like to be on this internet playing a bunch of games, and y'all know I don't come on here to play games. So I'm going to hit you with that shit you need to be thinking about. Okay? And again, I'm not knocking anyone for where you are in life, or if you are on assistance or whatever, right? But I need you to think about that type of stuff, because there might be a day in time where the government does not send that rent payment to Section 8. Right? It may be a moment in time where the government say, we're no longer going to give you link. I need you to have a real idea and game plan as a grown ass adult, especially y'all with kids, on how would you move. Because if you've never thought about that in your life, that's a problem. Because it's unrealistic to think that this is going to be here forever if you're not paying attention to how the world is happening right now. This ain't back in the grandma days. This ain't grandma and granddaddy days. This ain't back in the early 90s and the 80s. It's a totally different time right now. You get what I'm saying? So I'm finna go, because it's 9:25. I was supposed to be off of here an hour ago with y'all. So I said I had my 2 hours TED talk with y'all tonight. Because that's what we gonna call this. This was a straight up TED talk, baby. I'm just scrolling through Facebook real quick because I didn't really answer many of y'all questions. Appreciate all your advice, knowledge. Would love to work with you in the future, near the future. Let's roll, Candace Space. Takara say all caps, baby. They be capping their butt off on this internet. And notary, that's perfect, right? And I honestly tell people that wholeheartedly, like, this is a simple return. You could go home and file this for free on TurboTax. You don't even need to pay me, right? Because if you got a straight W-2, nothing else, no investments, no house, none of that, file on your own. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. But these people thinking that these people are just pulling out $20,000 to $30,000 out the air for their tax return to increase, that doesn't make any sense, right? That doesn't make any sense at all. Tabara, thank you for my stars and my gifts. Appreciate you. Tisha, you had me cracking up on here, girl, because I'm gonna reach out to a couple of my tax professionals. We're gonna have a round table. We're gonna have just a round table day of sharing some of the stuff we go through with our clients or potential clients, right? because everybody ain't a client. Tavara said, don't forget my style on YouTube too. Okay, Tavara, I see you. I love you. Takara said, go on, print me a check. I'm in checking. I'm charging for something. I'm charging for something you can do. Eartha, you say it happened to you twice this year. Yeah, they've been doing that more recently. I noticed with sending these people their checks. And I think it's got a lot to do with some of that fraud stuff, but I don't know. You say, that's me. I don't play about my coins. Right, baby. You going to get you a collection letter messing around playing games with me. Just pay your people, pay them people what they do. She say, I'm competing with YouTube. Tavara, you could never compete because you a real client, boo. A lot of people on YouTube haven't had the opportunity to meet me. You know what I'm saying? You a real client. I roll with you 100. So it could never be a competition with you, baby. Ebony, what's up, twin? Where you been, twin? Where have you been? Nobody knows me. You see my eyebrows, girl? Nobody knows my eyebrows like you. Look, I need you. Twin, where have you been? I need my brows done. I'm gonna text you. Thank you, because you sure be helping us out. Thank you, Tavara. Girl, I be trying, but our people, some of us. I wish people would learn the definition of these terms. Oh man, she gonna get the IRS. IRS go fat, huh, girl? Seriously. You said one couple got 36 months. See? We trying to tell y'all, when you get a professional on here trying to tell you the truth, please take heed, because y'all be listening to these crackers and schemers like they word is gold, baby. Like, that's why I said this new generation, y'all slow to the slow. Like, I have never, ever, ever in my life argued with nobody on the internet about my expertise. Like, and I ain't arguing on the internet with nobody. But just the fact that they even try to argue with you, it's just appalling to me. I just be like, baby. She say, not the lace front. Y'all know people be out here selling their soul for a freaking lace front, baby. Like, it is not that serious. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. She said, Section 8 client led on the app and has now been calling me, trying to take my Section 8. Where you say has it now calling me? They trying to take my Section 8. They got cars and work at Uber Eats. They definitely are working Uber Eats. The few times I bought Uber Eats, it's definitely been a Venezuelan. I ain't gonna say that, Takara. I'm not gonna say that they working harder than those here, because I've seen both sides. And I've seen both sides. It's some here that's not doing the best. And it is some people here that out of the 35,000 migrants that they have here, probably half of them are trying to really do something, right? Actually trying to work and do something with themselves. But it's a nice amount of them also, excuse me, that's out here running amok with the city. All of those carjackings, all of those robbings are not the Kia boys. Let's be clear. Because I used to go park on 22nd in Michigan with no problem. My car window was never busted out. My car window was busted out twice in 30 days parking on 22nd in Michigan. That ain't the Kia boys. Them the immigrants. Okay. So it's a lot of crime and stuff that has risen and gone up since they have been here. So all of them is not just trying to survive and work. And it's a lot of them that's here, especially the ones that got let out from the prisons. If y'all didn't know that, they let a lot of them out from the prisons. That was confirmed down at the alderman, at the city council meeting with the alderman and the mayor. Alderman Bill sure blasted the mayor about that they have definitely opened up their prisons and letting these people right across the border. So it's a lot of shooting, gang activity here. My mother senior building, they put that they opened up that school right behind her. I could look out her bedroom window and see them out there every day, shooting crap, playing music, talking loud, being ignorant as hell to the people in the community. So no, I'm not agreeing with what you're saying right there, that majority of them are working harder than us. Hell to the no, they are not. A lot of them are here causing ruckus and confusion, and it's a lot, and they trying to put it and say that it's the black kids and the black people. But no, we know we got problems in our community. Yes, we know that. But it has risen since they have been here this last year and a half. I know that for a fact. For a fact. So, and that's what I was saying. And that's what we was down there arguing with at the city council, was you're infiltrating them in our neighborhoods. So when South Shore now has a 200% increase in shootings, y'all gonna blame that on us, on the black kids. No, that 200% increase in shootings is not all black people. It's because you got these migrants up in here as well, and they fighting and shooting and robbing and stealing just the same damn way. But because they're undocumented, it's not going against them. It's going to go against South Shore. It's going to go against Inglewood. It's going to go against Woodline. And whose communities are those? Those are our communities, majority black. So that is the narrative that they would like you to think and push, when in reality, they have allowed these people, push them into these neighborhoods and communities. They opening up abandoned buildings that have never been opened up before. And now all of a sudden you got people here. That's what's happening. Let's be clear. Okay? Let's tell the truth and the whole truth. Because that's what I don't like, is the fact that my people are being blamed for this rise in violence. No, it's not. It's a lot of undocumented workers that's doing a bunch of bullshit out here, and then they're blaming it on the black community, because these are, I'm saying, y'all have to get up off of your asses and get off the internet and get down to city council in front of the alderman, the mayor, the governor's office. We are planning something to go to Springfield this summer, but it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that's happening. So you have to be okay with getting out of your comfort zone, which is this internet. It's real easy to get on and make a post. It's real easy to get on and comment, on this live that I'm doing. But how many of you are going to meet me at city council next week? It'd be crickets. But that's where the real action come in. That's where the real gangster is. You ain't tough on the internet, right? That's just the reality of it. So that's why I said, and for everybody that's, again, on these different programs, you all should be there every day. If you're not there, you should at minimum be calling the alderman office, the mayor's office, the governor's office, your congressman, your senator, and demanding that they change this stuff, because y'all crazy, baby. Ain't no way I will be this silent. And they just giving they literally are giving our reparations away to the migrants. That's how I feel. That's the best way that I can explain it. Everybody that said they want reparations, that $437 million that Illinois has spent alone, that could have been reparations to black people. Y'all are literally allowing somebody else to come into your city, your state, your country, and receive all these benefits, and you ain't said shit. You just sitting here on the internet mad, looking goofy. Baby, bye. They know me down at the city council now, because I was down there for 6 weeks in their face, cussing them out, telling them you're not shit for voting that in. Oh, you lied and said you wasn't voting for it, but you voted for it, alderman. That's the difference. When you go to the council, you get to see. They tell y'all one thing on this internet, but you get to go and see how many people voted yes, how many people voted nay. And let's be clear. Majority of your black aldermen and women are not voting on your behalf. They're voting against your asses. And I'm going to end it with that. Because I got work to do and I got to go home and feed socks and then get back on the computer and do some more taxes. So this was a great TED Talk, y'all. I might come on again on Friday because I got some information that I want to share with y'all. If you are in the city of Chicago, I need everybody to come out April 13th to Olive Harvey College. We, the Dearborn and NARAB, have partnered and we are opening up what we call as Community Day. So we are walking around. We have 100 cities. We have a 100 city building Black wealth tour happening through NARAB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And we are a partner subsidiary we are a organization of NARAB, Dearborn Realtors Board. Saturday, April 13th, we are hosting Community Day at Olive Harvey College, okay, right off of 103rd. And we need y'all to come out. It's free. It's free to the community. It's free. We're going to have stuff for the kids. We having face paint, balloons. We giving away stuff. We're going to have different people show up. We may or may not have the alderman, the mayor, Chance the Rapper possibly supposed to be coming. So it's a big day that we actually reach out for the community. We want you all to come out. This is for you. We're going to be sharing information with you about home ownership, buying land, property. Don't sell grandma's house. Y'all heard me say that, right? Because I bought my family house back out of foreclosure. So the goal is to teach you and talk to you about home ownership, right? Outside of that, we also have other classes and workshops that'll be on that day. We'll be talking about credit. I may even have a tax class out there, but we have other financial services and information that we will be providing. So that's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I also need volunteers. So I'm going to make another post on this, but I would love for some of you all, I need about 20 volunteers in Chicago to come out and volunteer to help out that day. We got bags we're going to be giving away, but it's really for the community, and we are trying to empower and enlighten the people. And so we need you to come out. All right. I am out. What did he say? Send me $2 for a cold beer. Lucky me, shut up. You always on here talking about send you some dollars. You should be sending me some dollars, sir. So have a good night. Hopefully, I know I put something on your mind for you to think about. Go home, think about it, talk it over, right? And then let's come back on Friday and have another conversation. So I am out. Patrice Stewart, the realist tax and business strategist. Have a good night. All right, I'm off of there. I'm off of Facebook and YouTube. I am out. Thank y'all for joining me today. Everybody who gave me a tip, Francisco, KKMK, appreciate you. Tavara, appreciate you. Have a good night.